Hello, YouTube. This is Jay Coder back with another stream, and today I'm going to be going over HTML classes. And without further ado, let's get started. So, as you can see, like usual, I have Visual Studio Code here, the IDE window here, and I'm going to be going over some examples related to classes. So the HTML class attribute is used to specify a class from an HTML element. Multiple HTML elements can share the same class. And I'm going to go ahead and put an example of a class. Usually you can put the class inside the styling tag or your CSS. So for example, inside the head, we're going to add some styling. So I'm going to start with a style tag here. And then after that, you can go ahead and specify your class. So I'm going to name my class City. So in order to specify as a class, you use a dot and then the name. And then after that, you put inside the body, which is signified by these brackets. You put inside the body the styling. So, for instance, we're going to, for anything inside this class, we're going to put the background color is going to be aqua, and the actual color, which is the text color, is going to be brown. And we're going to put a border. So with the border, it's going to be 2 pixels, solid, solid black. And then let's add a margin and a padding. Margin and padding, I'm going to put 20 pixels. So this next one is margin. And that's going to be 20 pixels. And also the same for the padding. It's going to be 20 pixels. All right. And so that's what I want to have inside my city class. And then if I want to use my city class, I can specify it in the tag. So let's go down to our body, and after our title, let's go ahead and add a city here. So I'm going to use a div tag to specify my class. It doesn't necessarily have to be a div, but you can specify this inside HTML tags, and a div tag is very convenient to use a class in. And so now to specify the class I want to use, I say city here, and I don't need the dot down here. So remember not to copy over the dot, but just specify what's after the dot, which is city. And I'm going to go ahead and make that div tag here. And we're going to make a city here. We'll give this city Chicago and maybe a little description. A northern Midwest city in the USA. So this is kind of just like a little example description, and I'm gonna so each div will encaps will have a city inside of it. So I'm gonna make these other examples of the div. I keep this the same. I'm gonna use the city class just the same here, and I'm gonna name this one New New York City. And then the next one, I'm going to put another example of a city with using the city tag. And this one can be Houston. And oh, yeah, um, going to change this description to something else. It's the biggest city in the USA. And this one is, I'm going to change the southern. So it's a southern city in Texas. It's a large. All right. And so I am going to put this formatting. And now let's see what this looks like when we test it. So I'm going to go ahead and test and see what this looks like. And so let me get that example for you guys. So basically, just give me 1 second. All right. Alrighty. So, for example, it's going to look like this. So we have the HTML webs class website, which is we're using classes, and then I have a class that I assign to each div, and this is how it looks based on the styling of the class. And it can help organize things into these compartmentalized blocks, which is which it's inside a div, the styling information. All right. So we got that. All right. And now let's go ahead and do another example here of classes. So, what else you can do is you can also put classes inside the span attribute, the span element, and within the span element, you can have the class be affect like one word if you would like. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. So I'm going to make another class, and this class is going to be called Class Note. And inside this class, I'm going to set the font size to fairly large, 120%, and the color is going to be red. All right, so we have that there. And now let me use it within a span. So after these cities here, I'm going to go ahead and do a BR so that we can have a space. And then I'm going to put a new title actually. And I'm going to say in here, this is going to say my. And then I'm going to use a span. And then inside the span, I'm going to use my class. So class equals note. Remember not to bring over the dot. Dot is always means class up here in the styling and in the CSS. Remember, dot is class. And then I'm going to say, let's see here. Okay, we have that equal to the note, and we close that off like that, like so. And then within the note, we're going to say important. All right. And then after that, outside the span, which is no longer specified by the, no longer affected by the class, I'm going to put heading. And then I'm going to also show this other example here where I'm going to do a paragraph tag, and I'm going to say this is some, and then I'm going to make a span again so that I can be able to use my class. And then I'm going to say important here as well. So that we can see how that works. And then after that, we're going to end that with the text. All right. And now let's see how this looks. So we are using the class within our spans to affect a single word. And let me go ahead and show you guys that one. All right. And so, as you can see, in this one, I have here the two places where I used class in the span. And as you can see, inside the actual span, it changed the text be being read and put 2 pixels, or I'm sorry, yeah, it made the font size 120%. However, let's see. However, it doesn't seem to. Just give me 1 second here. And so with classes, you can assign different stylings to both divs and s- spans. And here, if you want to use it with a span, then it's good for modifying a single word. And with a div, it's more best to be able to modify a block. And so basically, let me see if I am able to show you guys this example here as it's loading. And so I hope that you guys will be able to use a class in your development. And so here we go. This is what happened when we set the span with those attributes of note of the note class, and it makes this word slightly bigger than the other words in the sentence because it's set at 120%. And all right, that's what I wanted to show you guys today about HTML classes. And yeah, for some reason, um, my computer has been a little bit slow on the stream, but I was able to show you guys what I wanted to show you guys regarding the HTML classes. All right, if you like this kind of content, subscribe, like this video, and without further ado,